That's a great question. Can you hear me okay? Um, I know you can't see me, or I can't see you. Okay, perfect. So yeah, meal prepping and planning is a huge, I mean, studies have shown that people who do meal prep and plan have greater success, not just taking weight off, but keeping it off. And you do save like an extra 300 calories per meal if you're prepped and planned. How to approach people who don't have time. You know, they're going to save time by taking that day or 2 days to get their food prepared. You know, if people are really adamant that they just don't have the time to make their meals ahead, then my go-to is, well, at least make sure that you are prepped. If you can't, you know, make the meal ahead of time, at least make sure that you are planned in the idea of, you know, you have either you're going to get your groceries online, which is, you know, convenient, so you just go and pick them up. You have on your fridge, I call it the grocery list for the family, because a lot of times if we don't go to the grocery store, or if our patients don't go to the grocery store with a plan, a list, they end up buying foods that are not conducive to weight loss. And so if you can't plan your meals, you need to at least ensure that your fridge is stocked full of healthy foods, so that you're not doing what I call the raccoon grab, which is like, oh, I don't know what to have. We don't have anything good. So I'm just going to grab what's in there, which is usually fast, convenient bags of things. So making sure that you have a freezer full of, you know, steamed vegetables, that you have chicken on hand at all times, you know, lean proteins, eggs, those types of things. So if you can't plan your meal, you can at least ensure that your fridge is, you know, full of healthy foods. So the prepping, you know, to say the least. I'll tell people to, um, you know, write down the family menu together, and then, you know, if at least you have an idea ahead, like on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, at least you can have an idea of what you're going to have. Um, it doesn't have to look perfect, but you're not going into the week blind. Um, because yeah, you're right. Planning and prepping is it's super important. Um, so making sure that their fridge is just always stocked. That's one of the big ones that I'll tell people. If you can't plan it and prep it, then at least make sure that your fridge is conducive to having healthy options. Because every step that they take is a step closer to their goal, or it's a step away from their goal. No, not at all. Do you have the list, or is there a way I can see them? And I think that's awesome. A list with recommendations, because people always want recommendations. And honestly, like when people ask me for food recommendations or recipes, I'm not a good resource. I don't like to cook, so I have to do, my meal planning and prepping is pretty boring. Yeah, email it to me. That'd be great. It's My name is Jennifer. Well, you can see my name is Jennifer Aldrich. Well, I guess it's not on there. Is the list of just foods that they should have, or actual recipes? Very cool. Yeah, food items are good. People run out of ideas as to what to get for like the proteins and things like that. Um, and I tell people, when they're first starting this whole journey, is give yourself ample time to uh, spend some time in the vegetable area of your local grocery store where you get most of your groceries. Um, you might discover some veggies that you want to try that you never have had before, because it can get monotonous, when you start to kind of eat the same thing over and over. So give yourself, time. That's awesome. Yeah, I think people are always looking for recipes and ideas. So posting that will be a huge win. But ultimately, everyone has to make this sustainable. So they have to create these habits of having their fridge full of healthy food options. They have to have their staples, that are going to be in their fridge at all times, that they have to lean into, because it won't always be, convenient or easy. So they can always hop in there and be like, okay, but I know I have my staples. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, there is a lot of confusion. So when I coach, I just try to make it, simple to start with, because I don't want them to feel completely overwhelmed with, the exact number of protein you need to get in and this and that. Basically, it is a matter of calorie, in a sense, calorie deficit, um, but, kind of reducing starches. Oh, I've got one more person joining. Reducing starches, limiting sugar, reducing sugar. Hi, Amber.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing all right. Doing all right. I was like, woo, look at the time. Look at the
I
time.
know. So I have Sarah, but it's really just been us two so far. So I don't know if we want to stay on, but if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer as best as I can.
Yeah, for sure. I was totally on the last one that you
Yeah.
did. So I'm just kind of a spectator. Are you able to talk with Sarah?
She doesn't have a microphone or
Is there a phone number?
so she's been messaging. just instant messaging. And her question was around food, meal prep,
Oh, okay. Hold
how
on.
to
She wants to
get the,
know.
clients. And it is important um, to learn that, to learn and make that, part of your lifestyle is to kind of food prep and meal prep. But I was saying, just making sure that your fridge is conducive to healthy food. So, you go to the grocery store and you buy, really the healthy staples, and adding, some frozen healthy staples so that you really, if you're in a bind, you can grab something.
I'm gonna see if I can just get her to come in here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry. Oh my God. I almost just, oh my God. Are you okay? Sorry. Yeah, I'm good. I would have not. Yeah, if you wanna, you can sit in my seat there.
Sure. Oh my
So
God,
you guys
I'm
can have a little
Okay.
convo, because I
Okay.
know you've always got.
Do I have to do anything?
No, she's here.
Oh,
She's
okay.
Hi.
able to hear
Hi.
you.
Okay. Yeah, I think I emailed that, but it's not totally clear. I had
Okay.
to do it from the drive.
Okay. I wonder
But
if I
yeah,
can.
I mainly put it together because people seem to maybe struggle, I think, the most with actually planning for the week. Like they'll say, my appetite's fine, I'm doing this, I'm starting exercise, but I just don't have time to plan. And I'll, say, well, running through the drive-thru or being constantly panicked about what to eat, what not to eat is way more stressful than taking 1 hour on the weekend.
Yeah, I do know. And people will continue to give their reasons why they can't
Excuses.
do what they need to do. So,
Yeah.
it's about, okay, then fine. Don't put that on your like agenda as another to-do list, if that feels overwhelming. But, typically what days do you go to the grocery store?
Right.
And then once you get that information, okay, then, having, like I said, having your family, grocery list so that you know exactly what you're going to get. So if you can't meal prep and plan, at least you have the foods that you need, and get yourself some of the like simple staples like those healthy meals and those types of things, so that you're not giving yourself permission to go through the drive-through because you don't have anything at home, because
Right.
technically then you do have something at home. But that is, I mean, I think fast food is a tough habit that people have. It's a habit,
It's so
oh, we're busy
easy. You know?
to get access. And then I get the whole, well, there was really not a lot of great choices, and it's.
Like, but there are so many great choices out there. And we have luckily we have clean eats now in town. So I've been directing some of those like quick, people that don't cook, that have really no idea about planning and prepping. I'm like, well, at least there, like if you look at it at the
Yeah.
cost versus going through, even a McDonald's or whatever, it's going to be about the same price, but you're having clean nutrition, real vegetables,
Mhm.
like
Where
some
are you at?
actual clean eats with a Z.
No, where are you located?
Oh, me, Omaha.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, and it's literally around the corner from our office. So I'll tell them
That's
just, we're going to try to get a discount code through them as well for our patients, but it's just, I think it's frustrating to see like it's more self-defeating or whatever, like I think that's probably the biggest thing. And then that they think they're getting in enough nutrition or protein, and then really when I have them track, even just that, they're like, oh, I'm really getting in like 50 grams, and the rest of it is snacks you know
yeah. Yeah, well, then the snacks can be killer, because the
Right.
snacks are just those like empty calories that have,
Yes.
often no nutritional value. So I go back into, all right, what is it we're doing here? Are you on a
Right.
diet, or are you trying to actually change your
Change your
lifestyle?
lifestyle.
Mhm.
Right. And that's my whole thing is like I tell people and I love our program because it's not a quick fix. Like we want
Mhm.
this to be something you can sustain forever, but you
Right.
have to put in some work to make it a habit. Once it's a habit, it's a lot easier to keep going.
Yeah.
It's just,
habits take time and they take
yes,
patience and they take consistency. So
yes,
you've created a habit with fast food, right? How long did it
right.
take you to take a fast food habit and now you do it every Tuesday because your kid has gymnastics and that's what you
Yes.
do. So to re-navigate that habit means that you have to plan ahead. Doesn't mean that you have to have a 5 course meal. It means that you have to, have an idea of what would be alternatives.
Yeah.
Um, so, I mean, I have a lot of clients who are like, whenever I get in the car, like that's a trigger to
Yes.
do this behavior. So,
Yeah. Or every time you go into a Target, you get your Starbucks or whatever. And it's
Mhm.
like, okay, well, that's fine. But like there are ways to at least make your Starbucks a little bit more
Yeah,
beneficial for your goals. Like I
absolutely.
recommend the macro barista all the time. And I'm like, rather than having it be a 700-calorie drink, you could still have something delicious for 70,
Exactly.
and you're,
Absolutely.
and you're
So,
still going to have it.
yeah, because a lot of times Starbucks and things like that are literally you are getting it's a soothing, you're
Yeah.
self-soothing for something or the
Right.
habit that is created. So, you can still have the Starbucks, cup, you still have the hot
Yeah.
drink, but it's a different,
Right.
texture and feel and taste. And that usually isn't the big root cause of why you're going there. It's usually
Right.
something else.
Yeah, a lot of times people, it's like the negative self-talk, I think, especially with our female patients,
Oh
that
yeah.
they just, if they're not 100% perfect all week with what they think
So,
is perfect for their diet is, then they go off the rails and binge, you
yeah,
know?
it's that all or nothing mentality that
Right,
people have. And, well, I messed up, so now I got to start tomorrow.
right.
Versus, you know what? If you had a little bit of an off moment, you have the potential to get right back on track. And that's really what I
Right.
encourage people
And
is
it's
to.
also like, you're human. I've been kind of telling more and more people, if you aim for 80/20, if like that's your goal, if you do better than that, great. But if you do all the things your body needs 80% of the time, that's fantastic. That's probably a
Mhm.
lot better than what you ever have done maybe in
Yeah,
a long time. So
yeah,
that's a win, but you're not expecting yourself to be perfect every day,
right.
because it's
It's
just
never going to be perfect. And
no.
that's common humanity because we're all struggling with
Right.
something when it comes to health and wellness in some way, shape, or form. And it can be on any given day. One day may look great and the next day may not look as great. And that's okay.
Yeah,
Giving yourself
definitely.
grace to just get right back on track.
Yeah, very true.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
I
I
think
mean,
you're giving clients a lot of great information.
oh, well, good. Thank you. I mean, I've learned a lot working here and from Brenda and everybody that works here. It's just such a great environment. So I think it's, when you are also doing all the same things and it's working and you're feeling great, it's easier to be like, hey,
Yeah,
it's not easy, but it's so worth it. And you will feel better and your mood will be better and everything will improve. So
right.
I
Walking
think
the walk.
yeah, yeah, it's really reinforcing. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, but I mean, if I know you're probably busy and all that, but I think I sent that
Yes, I
email.
looked. I got it.
Okay, cool. If you whatever, like whenever you get a chance, let me know if there's anything you see that's like, maybe not
Sure.
as beneficial. I'm not sensitive about it. That Instagram though, so many of our patients are on Instagram, and I feel like I put a few like hormone health accounts and then a few like the bottom row of the QR codes are pretty much like meal prep accounts that like I've made recipes on or other people at work here have tried the recipes
Okay.
for and they've been pretty good. And
Awesome.
stuff that's like, I hate to say it's not always the cleanest. It's not maybe the end goal in terms of the cleanest
Yeah.
ingredients and like the most healthy option, but it's realistic for a lot of these people who have never even measured their food or don't understand what a portion is and they still want to eat things that taste familiar to them. So it's like trying to find a middle ground where it's a better
Yes.
option but still realistic
Absolutely.
that they will
Yeah.
eat.
They're just, yeah, starting with baby steps is
Right.
really what it is starting with baby steps. If you're
Yeah.
having 4 Mountain Dews a day, what does it look like for one week to have two? So no, I'll take a look at it. I'm sure it's great.
Okay.
I'll take
Okay. I
a look
appreciate it.
at
Yeah,
it.
I'm
So
always up to,
yeah,
adjust things
of
if
course.
it would improve or whatever.
Sure. Yep. I'll take a peek at it and I'll just email you back what I think of it. But
Okay. I
awesome.
appreciate it.
Of course. So are you a nurse there? Are you the consultant
A
or?
nurse. I'm one of the
Okay.
RNs. Yeah.
Got it. Very cool.
Yeah, it's been great. honestly, it's a great place to work. So I appreciate your
I would
input
love
and
to come and
everything.
visit all of these offices at some point down the road.
Yeah, that would be
It's
great.
hard. We're
Yeah.
all spread out.
I know it would be a lot of traveling, but I think it would be kind of cool to at least get to come in and see and maybe do a meet and greet with people.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Maybe sit on some appointments and kind of see
Yeah.
like if you think there's a better way we can do our counseling or, because I mean, any constructive like criticism is always welcomed, I think. Yeah, we want to know if we're doing the right thing by everybody. I mean, I think it's been a lot of emotional support, honestly, since the holidays kicked off and all like, and just supporting people that they're not failing constantly. It's been a lot of that lately, like the last 3 months, really.
Really?
The appointments. Yeah, they're very triggering. People have some traumatic event that happened and all the feelings come up and then they want to eat and then they want to drink and.
So yeah, I usually tell people create a list of activities that you can do that are non-food activities so that when you notice, like, okay, something traumatic happened and I'm super, I'm grieving. Well, grieving is a whole nother ball game, but
Oh, yeah.
basically like your day to day, if a stressor comes up, my kid has lice. I mean, just the random stuff that makes you want to stress eat. Pull your list out and look at your non-food strategies. Go clean my car, go for a walk around just whatever activity you can come up with that does not, include food if you're not hungry.
Yeah.
Because, we're eating our way through, some emotional habits that we probably have had since we were a kid. If
Yes.
you remember being little and your mom and dad would be like, well, you can have dessert if you eat your plate,
Yep. You got to clean your plate.
Yeah, last day of school, we can get ice cream. It's like, oh, there's your reward is food. So we have to try to kind of break through some of those old habits, and they're not right or wrong. It's just that's not going to take you where you want to be as far as your health. So
I started noticing, like, especially again with our female patients, like so many of them give up pretty much every interest or hobby they have had in order to take care of their families and do their jobs and like take care of their home, that they have nothing other than like maybe going out to eat with their girlfriends or going to Starbucks or going and like indulging in some sort of meal. Everything else, like they have no hobbies, they have no passion in their life outside of their food. I mean, really, it's like, yeah, that's the only way they're getting any sort of satisfaction. So I've been like trying to encourage people to find some sort of hobby or passion. So it's good to know that that's like a reasonable suggestion.
Absolutely. Tell them to think back when they were when they were 5 and 6. What did you like to do when you were little? A lot of times you can revisit those.
Like, why can't you go for a bike ride? Go for a bike ride.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, there are a million different non-foods, rewards that you can give. I mean, people are like, I'm not going to get my nails done. That's too indulgent. Well, you're going to go and eat a $30 meal. It's literally the same thing. So
I've been recommending massages a lot for stress management. And they're like, oh yeah, I guess I could. I'm like, if you went out to eat twice, that would pay for a massage.
Massage, nails, facial.
And it makes you feel so good.
Yeah. And a lot of women have a lot of guilt around that. So part of living, like if you're going to spend the money, to lose weight, that's part of the whole trajectory of self-care and wellness. So if you're looking for wellness, that means that you have to release the guilt about doing things for yourself so that you can really focus on what you need to do, what you want to do, It's
so true. I can think of a few patients in particular probably benefit from hearing that from someone else. So a few of them, like honestly, the main focus of like the entire 30-minute appointment sometimes is talking to them about their self-talk and guilt and just treating themselves even a fraction of how they would treat someone else in their life.
And that's if you ever think of just have them do their 20-minute consult, because that is really the coaching aspect that I don't know that nurses, I mean, you guys have enough on your plates to have to counsel people. I mean, that's what
I would say the bulk of what we're doing right now.
Yeah, the coaching is about reframing what we tell ourselves.
My husband, I'm so sorry. My husband has called me 3 times now from work and he's military. So that always makes me a little concerned. I'm just going to step out.
Awesome talking to you guys.
Yes, you too. Thank you really for all your advice. It was really like reassuring and I appreciate it.
If you need anything. And
thank you. I really will.
Good luck.
Thanks. That's never.
Bye.
Hello?
Quicker meeting when there's only like one person in it, right?
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time again. I appreciate it. I hope you have a good rest of your day.
You too. Bye
Thank
bye.